Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Danmachi Season 4 Part 2 episode number 9 reaction. Alright, the previous episode it was a great episode. First of all, it was fully focused on Belle and Ryu. We did not get to see anything about Lily's team, but obviously a big chunk of the story moves forward. We go to the Colosseum. It's a part of the dungeon where monsters come in endlessly and just respawns one after the other, fighting amongst each other. Obviously, we cannot fight them directly, so we decided to kind of go past them. And we had the smell on us by taking some monster remains and putting it on us. Cape had like a what was it called, the skull shaped fur on us so that they don't recognize us. Took all those precautions, got in, still kind of messed up obviously by the end of it. And we get to see Ryu try to stall for time and help Belle get out of there. We've always known that Ryu was going to do that either way when time comes, and she kind of gave up. But Belle obviously comes in from a different direction, helps her out, and is able to take her out away from there to her safety. So yeah, and that's where it kind of ended. So we get to see more of obviously Ryu and her ideals, and we get to see more of the Astria Familia as well in the previous episode. How they looked at justice, and Lyra, that is one of the characters from the Astria Familia, her way of justice, and what she taught to Rue about, her version of justice was to make use of knowledge and make it into wisdom so that you can help someone else out. It doesn't matter what type of knowledge it is. It can be some stuff which, what can I say? You can't even think of, like blackmail, whatever, But knowledge is knowledge. Take that knowledge and use it to help someone else, and make yourself wise. And that was her version of justice. And yeah, using that, Ryu tried to help Belle out. But obviously, this is Belle we are talking about. He is a hero, so he definitely saved Ryu by the end of it. And yeah, let's see what happens in this episode. Hopefully, they're able to get out of, obviously they'll be able to get out of the Colosseum, but hopefully they go closer to safety. And Lily's team is also coming, the Xenoses are helping, so everything will be fine from this point onwards, hopefully. Let's start. All right, episode number 9. Let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here. Sync it to whichever is a preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Heroic death, Astrea Familia. Okay, we'll get to see more of them, I'm guessing. How they died. What's happening here? Is this a past? I think, yeah, it's a past. Oh no, this is where. Okay. The Astrea family is here. So we're going to see them confront the Rudra family here. Oh, there they are. Great. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is the Juggernaut. Damn. Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, it's a juggernaut. It took me a while to. Oh my god. Oh no! Oh! Oh my god! That was Neze. Neze's gone. What the hell? Oh my god. Yeah, this is the juggernaut we're talking about. And as far as I can remember, currently the asteroid family is at level 4. Like the same level that Bell was. Bell is, sorry. Oh my god. Whoa! Oh my god. Oh, oh no, Kaguya's. Oh! Wait, why is the Juggernaut not attacking the Rudra Familia? Oh no, this I remember. Oh no, it's going to reflect it back. Ah! Oh my god! Did they actually up the animation? I feel like they upped the animation for this episode. Oh my. Oh! Oh my god, this is how it starts. How did Bell fight this thing? Now that I'm looking at it again. Oh no! Okay, so this thing was just indiscriminately attacking everyone. Oh, where's Lyra? Okay, there's Lyra. Oh, her eyes. Oh my God. Oh, where's Astrea? Where's Lady Astrea? Oh, and I think this is when she started her revenge. And so she brought the soil over here with the weapons. Wait, when did she meet Sir? Oh, I think after. Oh yeah, after exacting her revenge. That is when she met Sir. Okay. Oh, to leave Orario. Okay. Oh, she said talk. Okay. She accepted all this. Wait, so she's not in Orario currently? I thought she was in heaven. So she should give up on justice. Oh yeah, makes sense. Yeah, she still has her blessing with her. That's why. So she's still here in Orario, not in Orario, but in this world, in the lower world. The only person she missed was Jura. Oh, there he is. This little freak. And somehow he escapes from here, I'm guessing. Okay, okay. So she thought he died. Is that Rudra? Is that yes? So that was Rudra. Okay, so this is where she meets Sir. Oh, there she is. Yep. Is this a present? Oh no, what? Oh boy. Okay, so we're out of the Colosseum. Yeah. Oh. Oh boy. Like this is the thing. Ryu, as she said, she's looking for a place to die since she has nothing left. Wait, my friend? Who? Hmm. Wow. Mm. Mm. Oh no. Great. Ugh. Ugh. Oh boy. Oh, I hope the Xenos comes, or Lily's team, anyone. Or maybe she will do something. Okay, oh, he's the one who stabbed. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Blue light. River. Oh wait. Okay. Oh boy. Oh. Does it have like? Okay, okay. I was gonna say like healing properties or something. Hmm. Okay. That's it. Wow. Damn, this episode was crazy. I feel like they upped the animation, didn't they? Just for this episode? Like, damn, the first part was crazy. Like, my god. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they upped the animation just for this episode. And wow. All right, so yeah, this episode. It's crazy how we get like an upgraded animation and we just see all of them die. And I'm like, good god. Oh, okay. Like obviously everyone expected this. Like, and we kind of knew that definitely the Rudra familia something happened somewhere. Somehow the Astrea familia died, but we did not know the exact way or the reason why they died. When they died, we did not know. So we get to see that here. In the first part of this episode, like half of the first half of the episode is completely like Ryu's backstory on what she did, and yeah, I was wondering how they're going to show that to us. Like will it be like a little scene or something like that, like like a 5 minute scene or something? But I'm glad they actually kind of took that time to properly show the whole thing, and not only that the situation with the Astrea familia, but even after that, what happened where Ryu went on her rampage, like her revenge, like her revenge expedition. We also get that, and up until she meets Sir, we get to see everything. All right, so yeah, here in this episode, we get to see the Astrea familia. Everyone was obviously tracking the Rudra familia down because they were part of the Evilus, and the Astrea familia's main goal was to track down the Evilus and stop them, and that is why Rudra familia was one of them, and I'm guessing they probably came in the dungeon and were trying to stop them. However, and they kind of stopped them. They were like confronting them. The Rudra family were trapped. However, the Juggernaut comes in. Now, this part I'm not exactly sure, but in the previous episodes, Jura, according to how Jura talked about the whole situation, it seemed he was the reason, not he, but his familia was the reason why the Juggernaut came in. So I'm guessing something they did probably triggered the Juggernaut to come out. Remember how he summoned the Juggernaut back again by destroying a small part of the dungeon, and like the dungeon, obviously its auto defense mechanism popped up, and the Juggernaut came into existence. I'm guessing he did a similar thing like that here as well. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm sure they were the reason. The Rudra family were the reason why the Juggernaut suddenly came in. And obviously, since no one was controlling the Juggernaut here, the Juggernaut went full rampage. First wiped out the Astrea familia, then wiped out the Rudra familia, like most of them. And yeah, so there you go. So here, we see them confronting the Rudra familia, and as far as I know, the Astrea familia at this point, everyone is level 4. As far as I can remember, in Memoria Freeze, they kind of, yeah, in Memoria Freeze in the Astrea record, the Astrea family was level 3. Then the Great Feud happened. They became level 4. And obviously after that, this happened and they died. So currently I'm guessing they're level 4. And I think Ryu still is level 4. Like the current Ryu is still level 4, I'm pretty sure. Because I think Ryu might have leveled up within this time. However, since Lady Astrea is not here in Orario, she probably wasn't able to update her level. So she should be still level 4, shouldn't she? Like, unless and until you update your level by your goddess or god, you won't level up in this thing. So he probably has a lot of unspent EXP, because like this happened. She killed each and every member of the Rudra familia, wiped up most of the Evilus on her own. Only one person was left, which is Jura, and a few other stragglers were left. So I'm sure she got a lot of EXP from that. And since here we see her asking Lady Astrea to leave Orario, I'm not sure where Lady Astrea is currently, but she probably is still in the lower world. However, she's not at Orario, as far as I remember. And I think there was a little part in Memoria Freeze, Astrea record, where I think Hermes kind of hints, yeah, not hints, but Hermes tells us that she, Ryu and Lady Astrea still keeps contact by writing letters to each other, as far as I can remember. And Hermes provide transports the letter that Ryu writes to Lady Astrea. So Lady Astrea is still here, still in the lower world. However, we don't know where she is. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure she has a lot of EXP under her name. However, since her, Lady Astrea hasn't updated her status, she's still at level 4. The current Ryu is still at level 4. And if she updates it, she'll probably bounce up a few levels. Will probably become level 5 or something. However, I don't think she has done that after the whole Rudra Familia situation. Anyways, I might be wrong. I'm not sure. This is just a guess. Okay, so yeah, so the Juggernaut comes in, and obviously the first thing that happens is one of their members just dies. I'll be honest, I was not expecting everything going down that quickly. I was thinking oh, maybe the Juggernaut will come down, they'll fight for at least 1 or 2 minutes, and then everyone will start dying. But this goddamn thing comes in within a matter of 1 or 2 seconds. It just kills one of their members, just like that. And I'm like, oh my god, so this is how everything is going down. And not only that, then I'm not sure who that girl is. I don't know her name. But the second girl that dies is Neze, as far as I remember, that's her name. And then one after the other, everyone just gets eaten, just gets killed. Kaguya gets hit, one of her hands gets chopped off. And within all of those things, Ryu gets hit. Lyra, her eyes gets gouged out completely, and and Alice gets whacked out. So everyone dies except Alice, Lyra, and Kaguya, and Ryu, obviously. So these 4 are the ones who are left. And and this is when I was like, what the hell is this thing doing? Why is it not attacking the Rudra Familia? And after half of the Astrea Familia dies, it decides to go and attack the Rudra Familia. And then it starts attacking the Rudra Familia. Jura is running for his life. Everyone's running for his lives there. While all of this is happening, they get a moment of respite. The remaining members, that is Ryu, Kaguya, Lyra, and Alice. And using that little amount of time, they kind of have a little conversation. So the first thing that Lyra's Alice is Kaguya, are you okay? And Kaguya's like, what do you think? And her whole hand is gone. She just tied it. Lyra comes in. Lyra's eyes have been gone completely. And here Alice is like, all right, you guys, I want you guys to give your lives so that I can save we can save Ryu's life. And Kaga's like, yeah, sure, why not? And just like that. Okay, no, but first of all, one thing Kaguya says is that, but Captain, shouldn't you be the one to survive? So long as you and Lady Astrea are alive, true justice will prevail. However, Alicia says no, Kaguya. There are as much as types of justice as there are people. What do you define justice? I still don't know the answer. But I know Leon, she will definitely do the right thing. And since Ryu's way of looking at justice was probably the most idealistic, unsoiled, and pure, you could say. This is the thing. Everyone here in the Astrea family had their own version of justice. However, Ryu was in the middle zone where she was still stumbling and trying to find what the true meaning of justice is. And her justice had a way more, like I said, a very untainted or a very pure, an essence to it, unlike the other members. and it had like an idealistic view, and that is the reason why all of the members kind of looked like, like obviously you always ask them what their justice is, how do they look at justice. She was like a little child who was trying to learn, like, more about something. And that is why all the time, like, the Astrea family, all the members kind of tried to help Leon and looked at her as a person who is still, like, like kind of growing. She was still in the middle of growth. So I think that is the reason why Alice decided to help Ryu out by the end, because she thought that maybe, like, like since their versions of justice have been defined, Ryu's version of justice is still undefined. She hasn't found the answer out. So I'm sure Alice felt that maybe she'll be able to come to an answer which is goes way beyond their version of justice, since her answer is still not defined. So that type of thing I feel like. And obviously, like, everyone, like, in the familia loved Ryu the most, because she was like the, you could say, the little sister of the group, because as far as I remember, she was the one who was the uh, youngest member or something like that. She came in the last. Alice is the one who took her in, as we saw in this season, and she was the final member. So everyone kind of looked at her as a, like a little sister. And because of that, obviously everyone adored her more than, like, anyone else. And that's why everyone in the end, they unanimously decided to help Leon out, and like, make her survive. And this part was emotional, really. Like, I have to say, like, the song that was, like, going in the background, and like, Alisa kind of does a little pinky promise, and she says that, be sure to, okay, where is that part? Yeah, there you go. Like I was saying, Ryu's version of justice is idealistic, which, if you think about it, none of the other members of Astrea Familia had. So that is why her way of justice is something that, like, that is untainted or pure. Like, everyone had their own way of justice. Kaguya looked at justice in a realistic way. Like, Alice was in the middle of everything. She looked at justice in a idealistic way, but at the same time, when, like, when situations were dire, she took a more realistic approach to it. Lyra was kind of, I guess you could say, more towards like, knowledge, and like, making use of anything and everything to come to their version, her version of justice. So she was like that. So each and every member had their own, like, already defined version of justice. However, Ryu's way of justice was pure, which was an idealistic approach to it, which she still had. And that is why, like, Lyra and everyone, even though, like, Kaguya kind of grumbled all the time, always came in, like, odds with Rion whenever Rion talked about justice to Kaguya, and Kaguya, like, took a different approach to it. Even though she acted like that, there was a part in everyone who kind of looked up to Ryu because of her idealistic way of looking at justice, which they kind of lost. So that is why her version of justice was the most promising one. And that's why she says here that, Alisa says here, please promise me, Leon. And kind of hugs her, gives a little, like a pinky promise. Be sure to make it happen someday. Those ideals of yours. But it's so ironic that because of this, she lost her whole idealistic version of justice, and she went on a rampage. And she lost all hope in it. But however, currently she's getting that back little by little, because Bell is here, and Bell's way of looking at the world is also extremely idealistic, and like, that's what he is, and that is why she's getting that back little by little again. Yeah, Lyra says, like, live like, enough for most of us. Kaguya gives her the sword, like, sheath, I think. I'm giving these to you. Don't just keep them. Use them. Stay strong out there, my arch rival. And yeah, they go. And I'll be honest, I was not expecting them to do this part of the episode this way. They actually show them dying. like actually them like getting hit and their like arms, their limbs getting cut off. Like first Lyra goes out, and yeah, like I was not expecting it going like that. And Lyra uses the bombs to kind of weaken the outer shell a little bit. And then Kaguya comes in. Kaguya uses a sword, and yeah, the Juggernaut kills her as well. Alice, in the end, uses her skill, the one which kind of envelops her in fire, and goes and attacks the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut pierces her, but by the end, she uses her skill Arvelia and is able to destroy the shell. And Ryu uses Luminous Wind to blow the Juggernaut away. The Juggernaut runs away. Obviously, he doesn't die. The Juggernaut is way powerful for that. He runs away, and there you go. And we get to see that Jura's hiding at that moment, trying to save himself. So yeah, Jura survives, and Ryu also survives here. But that was it. So yeah, this part was really well done, I have to say. It's quite emotional as well. And I have to say, I feel like I got affected a little bit more because I've been playing Memoria Freeze for a few days, and I've been reading the Astrea record, which mainly focuses around the Astrea Familia. So I've been in contact with these characters, these four, Ryu, Kaguya, Alice, and Lyra. These four characters. I've been in contact with them for quite a while, and I've been reading their story as well in the Astrea record. And yeah, and obviously reading about their story and seeing them go through the story in the Astrea record obviously made me a little bit more attached to them. So I was kind of, yeah, a bit more emotional than I expected. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so Ryu goes, runs away, and later on she comes back to kind of give a little burial, but the bodies are gone because the monsters have just ate them. And so what she does is she takes the soil, I'm guessing, and the swords that were stuck to that bed, takes it and puts it in the safe place. I think floor 18 or something. Puts that there and makes a little memorial for them. And yeah. So obviously from this point onwards, there's only one thing in her head. She's like, I'm going to destroy the Rudra family. And not only the Rudra family, most of the evilists, I'm going to take care of them. And the first thing she does is go to Lady Astrea and asks her that please leave Orario. No questions asked. And Lady Astrea says like, all right, fine, I'm going to do that. And she says that Ryu, give up justice or something like that. Ryu, you should give up on justice. And yeah, she leaves. And Ryu says that she did not rescind her blessing, though that was probably an act of mercy on her part. And yeah, up until now, I thought, oh, maybe Lady Astrea has gone back to heaven or something. Maybe something happened to her. But turns out she is here not in Orario, but she is here in the lower world. It makes sense because I never thought about it, but Ryu still has her blessings. So that would mean Lady Astrea is here somewhere in the lower world. Maybe not in Orario, maybe somewhere else. But she's here. She's not in heaven. I think so, yeah. Because isn't that what happens when you go to heaven? Won't your blessings be taken away because your god or your goddess is not in the lower world? So yeah. Anyways, okay. So after that, we get to see Ryu's revenge. She goes around assassinates, kills, puts fire into the buildings of the Rudra family, the other evilest members, and by the end reaches Jura. And in the end she destroys everyone and tries to kill Jura, and she stabs him multiple times. However, she didn't kill him completely, and she did not know that. She thought she killed her, Jura. However, I think that was Lord Rudra, wasn't it? He comes in suddenly, and Ryu gets distracted here and later leaves. So I think probably because of Lord Rudra's appearance. I think that's Rudra. I might be wrong. Maybe it's some other god, but I think it's Rudra. So that is why she leaves, and she did not really like properly pay attention to whether Jura died or not. So Jura was alive. That is why. Okay, interesting. So we get to see this god here, uh, Lord Rudra. So he says you'd go so far as to murder a god in cold blood. Is laughing. And yeah, and Ryu leaves because obviously you cannot kill a god. I think there's like a unspoken rule or something where you cannot kill a god, and yeah, something like that. And I'm pretty sure the god won't even let that happen because gods and goddesses, they are strong, because they have the thing that limits their power, which kind of, what is that called, arcanum, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Since they have that, if you remember, in which season was it, Hestia actually unleashed her, the thing, and unleashed her actual power in, I think, the safe, in the dungeon, in the safe floor level, floor 18, I think. She did that, I remember. I think it's called the arcanum. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's what it's called. So yeah, so obviously gods and goddesses are extremely powerful, but they're not supposed to, use their actual power. And I've always thought, why do the gods not actual show their true power? You know, because there's so many situations which can easily be resolved if a god just helps out. But I think this, I always had this question, but this question kind of recently got answered after playing Memoria Freeze. Is that, as far as I could understand, there's two reasons why the gods, correct me if I'm wrong, the gods and the goddesses don't use their actual power. Number one reason is that they want to see what, this is the people, the normal human story. This is not the god story. If you remember, this is called familia myth, I think. Danmachi familia myth, I think that's what it's called. So this is a story about the humans, what the humans do and how they grow. So there's a rule that no gods will help, you know, the humans using their divine powers. And I think that is exactly the reason why Hephaestus actually refused to use her divine smithing skill to make a weapon for Bel. She used her human power to make the Hestia knife. And that is why, since you're not supposed to use your divine power to interfere, unless and until something crazy happens or some emergency happens, I'm guessing. So that's the first reason why they don't use their powers, because this is the story of the humans, not of the gods. The gods won't help you using their divine power. They'll definitely help you, but using their human powers. That's why Bel, like Hestia, obviously Hestia, helped Bel out by giving her him the Hestia knife. And how did she do it? By going part time. That's something that obviously human can do. She's not using her divine powers. So that's why. That's the first reason. And the second reason, as far as I could understand, is that the gods don't use their power, because if they start using their power, if one god uses their powers, the other ones will start using the power as well. It'll be chaos. The whole world will get destroyed, and it'll be like back in the age of gods, what was going on. It'll be full chaos. So they don't want that happening, and that is why they don't use their actual power. These are the two reasons, as far as I could understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's so many background thing in Memoria Freeze, and that's why I started reading Memoria Freeze again and playing the game, because there's so many background information that you can get from there, which the anime doesn't tell you. And I'm pretty sure the light novel also tells us all of this. Since I don't read light novels, I decided to opt for the Memoria Freeze. And yeah, there's so many things I understood after reading Memoria Freeze. It's crazy. This show is really good. With all the background story and everything going on. This has a very vast story, and a very rich story, which I really enjoy. and there's so many things happening in the background which you still haven't seen in the anime. It's crazy. And yeah, it's a really like good story. Anyways, okay, so after that, Ryu then goes away, and here is where she meets Sir in the alleyway. Sir comes and helps her out, and she Ryu says, just like how Alice helped me out that day, Sir took my hand this time and made me survive. I had no intention for surviving, but she was the one who made me survive. And then we see that Ryu kind of wakes up, and she's like in a place where all her family members are there in front of her, and she calls out each and every one of them, but they kind of go ahead, you know, and she's just there crying. And then we see Belle, like helping Ryu out of there. Like, I guess that was like a sign or an indication of how Ryu was trying to die, but obviously she didn't die because Belle helped her out. So, like that's why her family members who were like waiting on the other side, they went back without taking Ryu because Ryu is still alive. And something like that. Anyways, so Ryu wakes up and Belle is like, "Oh, are you okay?" And Ryu is like, "Why did you help me?" Like, and Belle takes takes her the piggyback ride, and it's like taking her through the dungeon, and continuously Ryu is like, "Why did you help me out? Answer me, like why did you not leave me alone?" And she's like, "That's enough, Mr. Crannel. Don't waste any more of your strength than you already have. Leave me. You can still make make out of here." And then like I said, this is the thing, like Ryu actually wants to die. That is the thing. She has always been trying to find a place to die. However, like she said, that Sirpur helped her out. That is why she wasn't able to die. But she has this tendency where she always is continuously trying to find a place to die. And here she thought this is a perfect chance for me to help protect Belle, and and have a and get a place to die. I'll be able to go back to my familia. And that is why she has this crazy obsession into making Belle leave her here. She actually wants to find she's trying to find a place to die. She doesn't want to survive. She doesn't have that spark, which is that survival thing in her, because she has lost that so many years ago, and she's just dragging her way throughout this journey, her life. She doesn't want to live, and that is why she's so much the fact that Belle saved her. She's still telling Belle that, "Oh, leave me," because she doesn't want to live anymore. And yeah, she says, "Let me die here with them." But Belle says that, where's that part? Okay, oh, she says that, "I'm a filthy criminal. I let my familia die and murdered my dearest friend with my two hands." Wait a minute, what is this? I don't understand this part. Murdered my dearest friend with my two hands. Who is she talking about? Wait, I let my familia down. Yeah, we know that. Obviously, the whole juggernaut situation. Let my dearest friend die. No, murdered my dearest friend with my two. Who is she talking about? Is she talking about RD? I'm not sure, but I don't remember her. She didn't murder RD. That's a weird way to explain, because the only person I remember her calling my dearest friend or my best friend was RD. RD, if you don't know, I don't think this is a spoiler, but if you don't know, she's a character in Memoria Freeze. She's Shakti Varma's sister, little sister, who is not alive anymore. But but she's the only character I remember her mentioning to as her best friend. And yeah, RD died. However, I don't remember RD. She didn't murder RD. So who is she talking about here? I have no idea. She's either talking about RD here or someone else that I have no clue. Because yeah, her only friend, the people she interacted with, where obviously her family are members, and she talks about her family members. She says, I let my family die and murdered my dearest friend with my 2 hands. Who is this dearest friend? The only person I remember her calling her dearest friend was RD. And that's it. So let me know if I'm correct on it. She's talking about RD here. But she didn't kill RD. She, as far as I can remember, yeah, like, no, RD died because of someone else. And Ryu was there, looked at the scene. Obviously, she was devastated. However, she did not kill her. Is this like a way of her saying that, oh, it was my fault? I don't know. I'm a little bit confused here. Anyways, I was the only one who walked away with her life. I let despicable thoughts consume me. I killed people. There was no justice in that. The very thing that my friends risked their lives for, that they trusted me with, like Lady Astrea said, I gave it up. Yeah, obviously because she went on that rampage. There is no justice left in me. I don't deserve to be rescued by you, so please. Now, Bell says here that I don't understand much about justice, but one thing I understand is that you have saved us plenty times. And he talks about all the times when, like Ryu saved them in the war games, before that, and later on as well. And he says that you've saved us so many times, and that is, you gave us so many things, and that's got to be justice. And you saved other adventurers' lives, and Goddess, Hestia, Lily, Welf, me. Yeah, you've saved my lives countless of times. In my eyes, you were always the hero. A righteous champion of justice who swoops in and saves us. And obviously Ryu is like, no, I was wrong. I cast justice aside and lost control of myself. And he says that I won't let anyone else say otherwise, not even you, Miss Ryu. And she starts blushing. And then he says, like, yeah, maybe you have made a few mistakes, but the Miss Ryu I know is always right. She knew better than everyone. And yeah, there you go. So don't give it up or cast it aside, Miss Ryu. That justice, it lives on. I'm guessing he's talking about her familia. Their justice, it lives on within Ryu. Yeah, there you go. It lives on with you, in your heart. Yeah. So, and then she says, so I'm not going to let you go. I remember, like another thing, I think Alicia is the one who said this. She used to say is that justice always passes on, or something like that. He used to say it always comes back, or something like that. She says, and she says that, and that is why you can see that obviously they left their justice with Ryu, and that's what Bell is kind of saying here, that the justice is not gone; it's within you now. The justice that they left is within you. It passes on. And yeah. Okay, then they were like going, and suddenly, what's his name? A behemoth comes in and attacks Bell. Bell falls down, and it seems as if he's unconscious. And Ryu is screaming. Ryu is like Mr. Cranel, wake up. And then, obviously, by the middle of it, she starts screaming Bell. And this is the first time I think she actually uses, Bell's name, like Bell's first name, not Mr. Cranel, but actually Bell. And she's like, oh, speak to me. And the behemoth comes in, grabs Bell. And I was thinking, who's going to save them now? Maybe the Xenos will come, maybe Lily's group will come here. But turns out Bell is the one who saved himself. He was just waiting to lure the behemoth towards him, which is smart, obviously, because directly he cannot attack it. He needs for the behemoth to come quickly, so that he could get its vulnerable point, which is smart, obviously. They don't have enough strength to fight it directly, so just trick it. And yeah, when it was trying to eat Bell, Bell actually waited up until the last moment. The thing was actually opening its mouth and almost going to gobble Bell up, and that's when he used his sword to kill the behemoth. And here, obviously, Ryu screams Bell's name, and then Bell just kills it. And and Bell is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Ryu. Like, like I was actually like, nothing happened to me. I was just acting so that the monster can come close to me and I can defeat it." And Ryu starts blushing. And he's like, "I'm sorry for scaring you." And Ryu kind of like, headbutts him in his chest. And it's like, "Oh, don't do that ever again." And yeah, then they reach like a little place, an opening where there's a river, kind of a river, little river or a pond, whatever it is. And like Ryu says, like, yeah, there's a water source on 37th floor. I've never heard anyone mention anything like that. Oh no, Ryu says, like, I've never heard anyone mention about a water source in level 34. So this is something new that they found here. Anyways, good thing we got a little water here, like we can quench our thirst, and not only that, can kind of, like a little bit resting time we can get. And Ryu takes Bell in and puts him in the water and casts, like, the healing spell on him, and Bell wakes up. And they drink the water is fine, it seems like. And yeah. And yeah, in the end, we can see that Ryu has completely changed the way she calls Bell. Not Mr. Cranel anymore, but just Bell. That's where it ended. This was the best episode, obviously. And yeah, this is probably the highlight episode of this season. And I'm glad that this went in this manner. And this was done very, very amazingly. And it was horrifying at the beginning, obviously, at the first part where we see the Straya family are dying one after the other. The way they actually showed that to us, that was crazy. But, like, we knew that was going to happen somewhere down the line. And this was the episode. And yeah, there you go. So that was it. Now, hopefully, I'm guessing from the next episode onwards, we'll get to see more of Lily, because we've been getting Bell and Ryu for 2 episodes back to back. So I'm guessing we get to see more of Lily and their group closing in, and probably finally they'll meet and they'll be able to get out of here. So that's probably what's going to happen. Anyways, there you go. That was it. That was my reaction to episode number 9 of Danmachi Season 4 Part 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. That's it. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Danmachi. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.